I recently purchased this Bayliner Capri 1954, and as you can see, the fuel level sensor does not work anymore. Sometimes, but most of the time it doesn't. So let's go over the fuel sensor circuit. So once you remove the engine compartment hood, this is the fuel level sensor, and this is what it looks like inside the tank. So as you can see, there's a float right here. So as you use fuel, the float drops and changes the resistance value, and then as you add fuel, it also changes the resistance value, which in turn moves the needle on the gauge. So in order to test the circuit and the gauge, you can disconnect the fuel level sensor. Then you could just touch the two positive and negative wires to it, and then you can see as I disconnect and connect, the needle moves from empty to full. So if your gauge does that, you know the gauge is good and your circuit is good, and that only leaves the sensor to test. So let's test the sensor. Now we have the sensor out of the fuel tank. I'm going to move the float towards the full position, and we're going to see how the gauge responds. See how there's no accuracy between empty and half full? That's because the resistor must be broken below half. But you can see that it works from half to full, but nothing below half. We have it all wired back up. I used a couple butt connectors with heat shrink and sort of taped it in place to prevent vibrations. And then there's the part numbers. Let's see if it works. Perfect. I'd say that's a success. That's all I got for you. Have a great time on the water.